Hey Stampers, welcome to Brandy's Cards. Today I've got a fun Christmas card for you that I have been promising you for a while. And when we did the Star of Light, the red star on the black card, it was absolutely stunning. And it was a lot of fun to make, but I have another card that I promised I would share with you, and it's this Star of Light card in Tempting Turquoise. So I just thought it was really pretty. It's another spin on it that you might like to try. So you can see back here, this is kind of a fun background. Then you have the star in the center. You might be wondering where I got the black star in the middle, and then the Tempting Turquoise. So I just thought it was another fun spin off of the same stamp set, and I was excited to show you how I made it. So I have pre-cut all of my cardstock, and everything is ready and set up to go. So I'm going to go ahead and start folding my Whisper White cardstock. Now this is one of my 10 and 20 videos. That's right. So what does that mean? Well, it means that I'm hoping to make 10 cards in approximately 20 minutes, but I don't worry too much about the time. It's really, honestly, more so to show you how I kind of do the assembly line process when you're making multiple cards, right? Because I make a lot of cards, a lot of thank you notes for friends, family, and my customers, of course. And, you know, I'm usually traveling on the go. I'm usually making cards, stamps on the go, I guess. I'm always got some cardstock with me and kind of doing the assembly line process. I find it's much easier for me that way. So I have about two bases or so left here to fold. Once I get those folded, I'm going to show you here. This is one of the fun stamps in that stamp set. Super fun little swirly with dots. I don't even know what it's called, but I absolutely love it. So what we're going to do is we're just going to ink this guy up, and we're going to just start stamping on your card. And it's easier for me to move my cardstock than it really is for me to move the stamp. I just kind of leave the stamp in my hand and I just move around with the cardstock. It's just easier. It's kind of a big block, and it gets, gets a little heavy if you're kind of moving it around. So I really love this swirl, and I haven't tried it in any of the other colors, but if you like it just as much as I do, I would love to see you try it in colors. I could see this in red and black being a beautiful card. Or, I don't know, maybe even green would be stunning. So give it a try and see what you think, because I think there's lots of options and ways to make this card fun. So I'm just kind of moving around here. Now, if you're worried about the sizes and the dimensions and the colors and all the fun stuff that I'm using, please don't be. If you visit brandyscards.com, I will absolutely share it all with you there. So just go to brandyscards.com, and in the search bar, you can type in there Star of Light, because we're using the Star of Light stamp set. Or you can type in there Christmas, which then all the Christmas cards will come up. So Star of Light is probably the best thing to type in there. And then this video tutorial will come up. And then of course you can see all the sizes and dimensions. And if for any reason you can't find it, even after using the search bar, feel free to let me know. I am more than happy to send you a direct link. I really want you to craft and to enjoy all that Stampin' Up! Has to offer, and of course enjoy my tutorials as well. So we've got 2 more of these, and then I'll show you the stamp set. I just realized I didn't even show you this fun stamp set. I just kind of assumed you guys knew what it looked like, so shame on me. I'm going to show you what it looks like after I finish this last stamp. So do you see how easy this was? I have just made my way around 10 card bases. So it's pretty neat how you can do that with those big stamps. So this is the Star of Light stamp set. This was the stamp that we were just using. You can find this stamp set in the Stampin' Up! Holiday Catalog. It's the 2016 Holiday Catalog. Now this catalog is good through January 4th. Then we'll move into our spring catalog. Now the spring catalog doesn't start shipping until December of 2016. So, if you've placed an order with me, you are absolutely on my list. And I promise you, I will get you one as soon as Stampin' Up! Starts shipping them, okay? But in the meantime, I hope you're enjoying our holiday products because there is a lot of fun stuff and a lot in there. But the Star of Light is absolutely one of my favorites. Okay, let's move on. I have some little white pieces. That's going to be for my star. Here's my star. We're just going to ink this guy up real good. And I'm just going to stamp it straight down and straight up. Just like such. Perfect. And you know, this ink actually dries really fast, so you don't have to worry too much about layering. I do try to be careful though, just in case, but it's really not too bad at all. It's not bad at all. There we go. So we're just going to kind of keep working through here. And I'm stamping the 10 stars. I kind of like to sort of do all of one thing at one time. So I'm stamping all the stars, and then I'll move into the next part of my card and showing you exactly how I did that. You know, it's pretty neat. You know, my husband's family, they have this tradition where, you know, in their Christmas cards, they do a little newsletter. And it's just so much fun to see what everybody's been doing for the past year and what's been going on. And so I'm usually a little late with my Christmas cards, but it is definitely a fun way to kind of keep in touch and to learn what everybody is doing and what everybody is up to, that's for sure. All right, so I'm going to stamp my last star. There we go. Perfect. And I'm just going to set that aside right there. Now all the stars are stamped. Now since we've already done that, now I'm going to pull in some of my Tempting Turquoise. And the reason is, do you see right here, this little flower, that is out of, that was stamped Tempting Turquoise on Tempting Turquoise, and I used this same star. That's right, I just thought it was kind of a creative way. I was trying to find the perfect insert and I couldn't figure it out. And then I'm like, well, why not stamp the star again in the same color on, you know, on Tempting Turquoise? And it totally solved my problem. So I was very, very excited. Now I'm just kind of getting, you know, strategically stamping this, I suppose. So I got 6 on that piece and we need 10. So we'll just keep on going. There's a couple more. And there's a couple more. So there's your 10. So we're gonna just set this stamp down. Now we're gonna set that aside. And you'll see also on here with the Tempting Turquoise, there's a black star, if you will, or it could be a flower too, right? If it was stamped in a color. So one of the stamps inside of the Star of Light stamp set is this, it's kind of like a dark star or flower, if you will, or snowflake. So I'm gonna ink it up in black. And I have, I've cut myself some scrap paper. I'm gonna ink it up in black, and it's just the archival black, and I am gonna stamp that 10 times. That's right. I know your next question is, oh my goodness, do I have to cut these out? Yes, you have to cut them out. It's really not that bad. They're pretty easy. They're pretty cut and dry, being the fact that it's just a, you know, a straight edge star. I can't count and do this at the same time. So 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, here's 9, and there is 10. All right, so now we are done with most of our stamping, but before we finish with the stamping, let's go ahead and just add our sentiment. So the one that I liked is Star of Wonder, Star of Night. I just thought that was beautiful, and I always like to ink it up and then stamp it on my cardstock first. And why do I do that? Just to make sure it's stamping well. And I'm gonna just add that here to my pretty star. Now, one thing I do want to point out is the star has a tall piece and kind of a shorter end. I really liked my sentiment down here by the long end. It just seemed to look a little bit nicer right there. But you know, you can stamp it wherever you would like. It's entirely up to you. There is no right or wrong way, of course. So you're welcome to do it however you would like. So we're just kind of moving through here. And Got a couple more. So I am sure you guys are starting to think about your holiday cards, right? Well, I just want to let you know that on brandyscards.com, if you have a wish list of some Stampin' Up! Product that you might like for Christmas, I have a wish list on brandyscards.com. That's right, I do. And I did that for you guys because my mother-in-law one time wanted to order me Stampin' Up! Product, and she wanted to surprise me. But she couldn't find any place to buy it because I'm already a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So anyway, long story short, I have created a wish list. And what you do is you just go out there, fill it out with your information, and you can even add in there some contacts, if you will, of somebody you might like me to send your wish list to. And then if they're interested in purchasing you some Stampin' Up! Product, they can call me and say, Brandy, what is on Sally's wish list? Because I'd like to surprise her with some Stampin' Up! Goodies. So that's a possibility. Of course, I have gift cards too. So you can let your family members and your friends know that if you would like some Stampin' Up! Product for Christmas or for a birthday or anything of that good stuff, that they can purchase you a gift card as well from brandyscards.com. So lots of fun stuff. Right now, I just cut my 2 stars and I cut 2 of my Tempting Turquoise. Now, I've already cut out 8 of these because I figured you did not want to watch me cut out 10 of these, right? Maybe if they were punched, but because they're kind of fussy cut, I thought, well, I will spare you watching me cut out a bunch of stars. So I'm just kind of working around the star, really. And it's really easy, as you can see, nothing crazy. Leave a little bit of a white edge. It's perfectly fine, that white edge. Because, you know, it really just doesn't matter. So just kind of working through the star. And you can see here that I've already got 8 cut out for you. And then we're going to move to our Tempting Turquoise star. Very pretty too. And you know, in this Tempting Turquoise one, you can actually see there's the same star that I'm cutting out in black. You can actually cut it out in Tempting Turquoise. So there's just a lot of possibility for layering here with this star and these flowers, if you really kind of look at the intricate detail of the stamp, which I love to do. So I've got one more Tempting Turquoise. I thought, not sure what I was trying to say there, but I have one more here, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut this guy out for you. And then I'm going to show you exactly how I put this card together, how I layered it, and all of that good stuff. Okay? So there we go. That's all cut out. Perfect. Now we can move on to the assembly part, right? So we have all of our stars of wonder over here. So very pretty. And we have our basic black, Tempting Turquoise, and we are going to start assembling this card. So I have my Tombow glue, and basically all I'm doing is going here and I'm layering Tempting Turquoise on top of basic black, and just adding those right to the very top. Now, speaking of fun things that are happening, many of you have heard of my Getaway magazine, right? And I've gotten lots and lots of emails saying, now Brandy, you did a Getaway magazine in 2012 and 2013, but have you done any since? Well, the answer is I have been PTA president of a large elementary school, and no, I have not. However, I have missed it just as much as y'all have. And so I have been working really hard, and I've kept it a secret. It's been very hard for me to do, but I've kept it a secret. So the secret's out. There is a Getaway magazine coming really, really soon. And the coolest part about this, as I was brainstorming, I thought, you know, what if we had like a fun member site where you could have a private site where I could share information, private tutorials. So instead of an actual just Getaway magazine itself, you'll have video tutorials that'll go along with every single one. And not to mention, there will be a spot where you can actually download the PDF, but you're gonna have it in the Getaway magazine anyway. But in the event that you want to just download that PDF, you are going to be able to do that. So, of course, you know, my husband helps me with my Stampin' Up! Business, and I came to him with this idea, and he was like, you want to do what? But anyway, he was totally okay with it, and he said, yeah, let's try it. Let's see if we can maybe do a different spin on it. So anyway, if you haven't already received an email from me about the Getaway magazine, it's coming, and if you look on Brandy's Cards, it'll be featured on my website too. So I hope here in the next couple of weeks we're going to be able to launch it, and there's some really fun cards and tutorials, and every project that I have made in the Getaway magazine is actually out of the annual catalog, the 2016 annual catalog. So I did that for a couple of reasons. This way you know exactly, you know that those stamps are going to be available so you can recreate those projects. That was my biggest thing, is I wanted you to be able to recreate those projects. And Stampin' Up! Doesn't really tell us what's going to go into the new catalog. So I was trying to look at what was trending and what some of the stamp sets and things that are selling the best, if you will. And so usually, if they're selling really good, well, they usually make another round in another catalog. So that was kind of my thinking, and I really wanted you to be able to purchase those stamps if you were interested in giving them a try. And of course, if not, you can always substitute with another stamp set with one of those techniques. So anyway, that is what I have been working on, and it has been super, super fun. It's been a fun project, and I am so excited to get that launched. All right, so as you can see, I am just gluing my little stars down to the top of my Tempting Turquoise cardstock. And yes, I am a chatterbox. I love to chit chat. My family, my husband will say, okay, honey, do I really need to know all that? Yes, he does. He does. He's got to know it all before we get to the punchline. Okay, so this is my last one. I'm going to glue this down. And then we are going to move on to our little stars and flowers. Now, you guys have seen me do this before. I just like to do this because I think it's just easier. All you have to do is just stick these little stars right to your mini glue dots. So that way you can move through sticking them down pretty quickly. Okay. Now, you can't really get more than 10, otherwise it just doesn't work very well. So I would probably just put your 10 on there of the one type. And since this is the bottom layer, I would just do the black ones. And see that? You're going to just stick it right over the top of that star. That's right. So let's go ahead and start sticking these guys down. And you can see we're going to add it right there. There's another one. Oh my gosh, that's pretty cool, right? So really, I mean, we're just kind of improvising using that same shape that's inside the star, but we've been able to, because Stampin' Up! Does such a fantastic job coordinating all kinds of different stamps in the set, that it just really makes it easy to find other images and the way that it layers. So I was really excited to show you how I did that. All right, there's my last one. Now we're going to add the blue ones, but what do we have to do? Yes, we have to put them on our mini glue dots. So it's just easier that way. You can absolutely adhere them with a Stampin' Dimensional, but I figure since we're going to use Stampin' Dimensionals anyway to put the backs, to put our image, pop our image up, the basic black up off of the white background, there's no need probably to pop this up, you know? So that's kind of why I didn't. So let's go ahead, and now we're going to add our little blue flowers. Now, is there any special way? Not at all. Just go ahead and stick it down in the middle. I'm not sure that there's really a perfect way that it looks better one way or the other. I just stick it right there in the center, and it looks real nice. So I've got a few more to do. And then I'm going to show you putting the Stampin' Dimensionals on the back. And we are all done. That's right. See, this card was fun, and it looks really intricate, and it looks kind of hard, but it's so not. It's really, really not. All right, the other thing we've got here is I'm going to show you, I've got my enamel dots. I do recommend you put these on there. Now, if you don't want to use enamel dots, you certainly don't have to. You could use rhinestones. You could use Well, you could use sequins even. I bet you sequins would look really pretty in the center of that card. So you might want to think about trying that too. And one thing I love about these little drops, I mean, they're just so pretty. Really, really pretty. And you know, they're nice and smooth, so they work in your envelope pretty darn well. That's one thing I really like about them. There's no real jagged edges or anything like maybe rhinestones sometimes don't mail as well, but these seem to go really, really good. So I've got 2 more to put down. And once I get these 2 down, let me see here. There we go. Had to get that guy on there. Now that I have that down, I'm going to go ahead and put Stampin' Dimensionals on the back, and we are all set. So what I like to do is just flip them all over, lay them all out. If you can get 10 in front of you, perfect. And see, this is my way of doing it. And let's see here, there's my Stampin' Dimensionals. And you know, it's funny because my husband always says, do you realize you use 2 hands? You know, I never really thought about it, but I do. I'm typically in a hurry and trying to get a bunch done. So what I'll do is I usually put 5 Stampin' Dimensionals. 4 is probably plenty, but I do like to put 5 just because it seems to kind of keep that center from sagging. You know, nobody wants a sagging center, right? So I'm just gonna come back over here to my right side and kind of stick them back down. And when I have 2 hands working, I can get more Stampin' Dimensionals going. You know what I mean? So it just works. Keep that other hand going and in the movement, I suppose. All right, so we just got a couple more cards here to stick our dimensionals on. Then we're gonna pull them off and we're gonna stick them down, and that's when the magic happens. When you see this image right on the top of your background, and that's when I'm like, ooh, wow, it's pretty. So we're just gonna go through and kind of pull these off. I always like to just, you know, if you're gonna put them all down and layer them all down, then you might as well just pull the backs off all at one time, so you don't have little stickers all over. They're not flying around. You just pull these backs off all at one time, and then you can move on to the next thing. That's right. So that's what I like to try to do. And so that's what I'm doing now, is just gonna get all these off of here like such. And we'll come back over here and work down through these. Now, I have to say, if you don't already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, please let me know. I would really love the opportunity to help you earn your business. If you're new to Stampin' Up!, well, that is awesome. I am happy to send you a catalog and to have you pick out a card in the holiday catalog. And I can help you with a tutorial on how to make that card, so you too can make your own holiday or Christmas card, maybe even a New Year's card. So just let me know. You'll have to visit brandyscards.com, and at the bottom of my post with this video, you'll see a catalog form, and just fill that out. That'll go to me, and then I will get your catalog out to you ASAP, I promise. All right, so I'm gonna pull in my Tempting Turquoise right here in the middle, flip it over and set it down. Ooh, it's all done, and look at that. So that's 1. And so this is all I'm gonna do now, is I am just gonna pull them and flip them over and stick them down. See? Can you believe that? Pretty cool. Really, really cool. Now, if you wanna take it to the next level, you can certainly open up the card and stamp a swirly on the inside. You can also stamp a swirly on your envelope, right? So on your envelope flap, you could stamp a pretty swirly on that, which would be absolutely stunning. So there's lots of things that you can do if you want to take it to the next level and maybe complete it as stationery, right? All right, so 1 more to go. Let me go ahead and set that down. There we go. There is 10 holiday cards for you with the Stampin' Up! Star of Light stamp set. It's very pretty. It actually coordinates with our framelits, the Star of Light framelits. Stunning framelits. So if you purchase this set as a bundle, you're gonna get it 10% off. That's right. So it's not guaranteed to be a bundle if it makes it into the next catalog. So just keep that in mind. So I hope that you enjoyed today's project, today's tutorial. I hope that you like my card and might give it a try. Don't forget to try it in real red, maybe garden green, even a cucumber crush might be fun. Okay? So thank you for stopping by and have a blessed day.